well. Sorry I had to stop my video earlier. My kids were needed my attention. So I'm sharing with you a couple of ways that you can manage your stress and be able to communicate at a higher level as a woman in leadership. So I'm going to share with you three strategies to help you communicate at a higher level when you are stressed in the workplace. A lot of times we deal with stress, especially if you're a woman in leadership. There are a tremendous amount of responsibilities and tasks that you are having to manage. And oftentimes we're not really taught how to do this. So I'm going to share with you what I've learned over the past 20 years as a C suite executive, as a manager, a director. I have worked with many, many, many employees, and I've dealt with a lot of very friendly and a lot of very contentious situations. And I want to be able to share those with you so that you can communicate at a higher level. Now, if you stay to the end, I'm going to give you a bonus. This is a skill that I have developed over the past 20 years that will actually help you be able to manage your stress a bit better too. So, if you stay to the end of the video, you'll get some additional information. And all of this that I'm sharing with you are the skills that you need to really communicate at an elite level as a woman in leadership. This is going to help you be able to accelerate your careers, negotiate higher salaries, increase the income in your particular role, depending on where you're at, and also be able to make a bigger impact on the world. So, if this sounds of interest to you and you want to become more confident, develop your executive presence, and to really master how you're communicating and really communicate at an elite level, then you should subscribe to my channel. Like this video, definitely make sure you hit the notifications icon so that you don't miss out on anything that comes up. So, the very first strategy I want to share with you is that stress is going to come up. You're going to deal with stress, you're going to manage stress all of the time. And so, the very first thing I would recommend for you to do is to speak softer. When you have a stressful situation, come up, speak in a softer tone. Let me give you an example. Most of the times that I have experienced, and I have seen it a lot, when someone is coming to you and they are stressed out, or there's a situation going on, they are usually at a heightened emotional state when they are trying to communicate with you. And when they're in a heightened emotional state, they basically bring that energy to you. So whether they are at a place where they want to share what's going on, but they're trying not to be upset about it. Sometimes they can't control it. And that is the difference between people that can communicate at a higher level and individuals that can't communicate at a higher level. Those of us who can communicate at a higher level, we are able to control our emotions and be able to communicate in a way, even if it is a really bad situation that's going on. So let me give you an example. I've had situations come up where people are coming to me, they may be crying, they may be frustrated, they may be red in the face, and they're telling me, "Oh my gosh, the sky is falling. I can't take it. This patient's mad, this customer's mad, this client is mad. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. We have a really serious problem right now." And what I do is I speak in a softer tone of voice. The softer tone of voice will actually do two things. And I thank you all for joining today. Hello. Thank you for being here. So, the softer tone of voice will do two things. First, it will cause you to think about how you are responding. So, instead of feeding into that energy where people are already at a very heightened emotional state, you have to think in your mind, how can I speak in a softer tone of voice? So that's one thing. You have to think about that first. It also helps you to calm down as well. So when you have that heightened emotional state go on, you can calm down a bit and speak in a softer tone of voice. It helps you to relax. So that's the first thing it does. You need to relax too, because it really could be a fire. It really could be a bad situation. The second thing that speaking in a softer tone of voice actually does, it helps the other person to calm down as well. I have done this many times, ladies, and I have found that it has been very, very successful to help just turn the temperature down just a little bit when it comes to those very stressful situations that come up. in the leadership realm. So, being able to speak at a softer tone of voice is a strategy that you can use to communicate to other people and speak in a way that shows that you are the executive, you're the person who is going to be able to handle this situation. So, I've shared with you one strategy to help you communicate at a higher level when you are stressed at work. So, let's go into the second strategy. Are you ready? So I want to know from you in the comments below, what are some strategies that you have used in the past that have helped you to communicate in a more calm, like manner when you're stressed at work? Or if you've had a situation come up at work that you can talk about or have experienced, then put it in the comments below. I'd be happy to provide you with any insights that may help you on your journey. Feel free to learn from my over 20 years of experience as a woman in leadership, as a C-suite executive, as a manager, director, and I've been in situations where I've had to be at a higher level as it relates to communicating. So you're here to learn as much as you can. My goal is to really help empower as many women as I can on their journey so that they can truly be able to accelerate in their careers and feel more empowered in their lives. Now, for the second strategy, when you have a stressful situation going on at work or in your leadership role, the second strategy is to pause. A lot of times when you have a stressful situation come up, everything is everywhere. People everywhere, they're running around, they're stressed out. But what I found is when you are communicating to other people, in addition to the first strategy, which was to speak at a softer tone of voice, is to pause. Pausing gives you time to digest the information and process what is being told to you. This fire, this situation that cannot wait and is urgently stressing everybody else and could potentially stress you out too. You need time to pause to process that information. And then the pausing gives the person the opportunity to calm down in their mind as well. Because a lot of times when people are coming to you and they're stressed out like that, remember you may be on a different level in terms of communicating crisis situations that come up than they are. And so they're learning from you as well. They're learning, how can I communicate better? And if you're able to calm down and pause, give them the opportunity to just take a breath and give you the opportunity to process what you need to say. I have found that this will help you be very successful. And this is a fantastic strategy to help be able to establish your executive presence. I know many of you, especially women in leadership, want to know more about how to really present yourself as an executive and develop your executive presence. Well, I'm sharing with you one of the secrets that I have learned over the years to develop an executive presence, and this is one of them, is to pause. Now, sometimes you might feel uncomfortable pausing. You're not sure how long you should pause, what you should do. Well, that's where I come in. That's where you can reach out to me for some support. You can contact me at info@exciteexcellence.org, and I'd be happy to have a call with you to talk about where you are, where you want to be as a woman in leadership this year, and how we can really help you to develop your executive presence and communicate at a higher level. So, I've shared with you two strategies. We have the first strategy that we talked about and the second strategy that we talked about. And if you're watching the live, I appreciate you for being here today. And if you're watching this on the replay, I want to know from you, is this helping you? Are you learning a lot? I hope you are. If you have any questions, let me know. I want to know, what are some strategies you've used? So I'm curious, just so we're all on the same page and we're all learning. Now, I want to share with you my very last strategy, and I believe I will have some time for a bonus. So let me see. Okay, thank you all so much for joining. I did want to say hello, hello. I appreciate you for being here today and spending a few moments out of your day with me today. So the last strategy that I want to share with you when you are trying to communicate with other people when you are stressed or have a very stressful situation going on is to listen and observe. This is probably a different strategy than you're thinking. Most of the time when people talk about being stressed, what's the first thing they say? You gotta take a breath. Oh, you gotta take a breath. They're gonna tell you to take a breath, but Taking a breath is not on my list of things. I think there's more strategy to it. There's technical things and that I've actually used that have been successful, and being able to listen is one of them. Now, listening, believe it or not, is probably the most important thing that you could actually do when you are in a very stressful situation. And I'm going to give you my bonus in just a second that kind of leads into this. So, you're not actually talking in this particular situation, you're actually listening. You can listen to what the person is saying, and you can observe what they're saying as well. And when you're able to do that, this will allow you to be able to formulate a response. How do you want to manage the situation? What do you want to do? Now, there may be times when you are dealing with a stressful situation where you need to do a little bit more than just the first three strategies I shared with you. Now, I just shared three. There's a lot more strategies that go into account when you are dealing with very stressful situations, crisis situations as a woman in leadership. So if you want me to go into more detail in terms of how you can communicate at a higher level, develop your executive presence, and master elite communication skills as a woman in leadership, then you need to put it in the comments below. Let me know. I would be happy to do a follow-up video on this particular topic to help you be able to manage how you are communicating when you're stressed. Now, to lead into my last strategy that I mentioned about listening and observing, I'm going to share with you a bonus. This is something that I actually do when I have stressful situations or contentious situations or crisis situations coming up. So this is the process I do in my mind, and you're welcome to use it, and hopefully it helps you and you can really present yourself as an executive. So in addition to listening, which is actually very, 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 very important, you'll need to develop a plan. And so that plan for me specifically, when I have those crisis situations, those stressful situations, those contentious situations come up, is to gather as much data as possible from reliable sources. So what do I mean specifically by that? For me, I have to have data. And so normally if anyone has ever been in an opportunity where I've actually spent time with them or worked with them, they know the first thing I say is, I need more data. I need more data. Because you need that data to be able to develop your own opinion, your own strategy, and to just process information. You cannot make decisions off of nothing. If someone comes to you and says the sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, you need to know, how is the sky falling? Is it really falling? Is there something else going on that I need to know? So you want to try to collect as much data as humanly possible to make an informed decision. Now, you can't spend all day collecting your data, okay? If you have a crisis situation going on, time is ticking. You need to get your data and you need to get your information quickly, because you're going to have to make a decision in a very fast amount of time, and you have to be okay with making the decision with the information that you have. And that's sometimes you may not have everything. It may not be the best decision, but you had to make the decision based off the information that you had. So take some time to collect your data. If there's someone else you need to speak with to either verify the information or confirm the information, then find that person. If that person is not available, then find the next person who can provide you with some data that you can rely on. If that person is not available, find the next person. There has to be a process in your mind when stressful situations come up, because you want to be able to say, okay, if I spoke with Mary and Mary is not sure, then I need to speak to Susie. If Susie is not sure, then I need to speak to Jill. If Jill is not sure, then I need to talk to Heather. If Heather's not sure, then I need to talk to Anna. So then you need to have a stepwise process in your mind to be able to answer and find out as much information as you possibly can. So I want to know from you if this information has been helpful to you as you are trying to navigate your journey as a woman in leadership. I hope this bonus has been helpful, because this is something that I've actually been able to do on my own. So I'm looking forward to seeing your thoughts, and let me know if you want me to go into even more detail on this. I am going to be hosting several master classes in the month of February. So I'm going to let you all know about that here very soon. So just follow me here, subscribe to my channel, and if you are on LinkedIn or Instagram, feel free to reach out to me. And I hope y'all have a fantastic day. Bye for now.